Well, welcome back. We've got the Go Red for Women event coming up. I mean, this is an incredible group of heart disease, stroke, and survivors really committed to sharing their stories to increase awareness of the #1 killer in women, and that is cardiovascular disease. So we have Elizabeth Denham here. She is with the Alabama Gulf Coast Go Red for Women campaign to talk more about this important event that's coming up and some other things too. I want to thank you so much for stopping by.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited to share my story.
And on that note, we were talking about, your involvement in the Heart Association, and it started really because of your husband.
Yeah, Aquilyn Kennedy is a good friend of mine. She does a lot of work with the American Heart Association, and in talking to her, you start to evaluate your own family situation. And my husband, when he was in his late 30s, had to try and revive his mother, who had earlier had a heart valve replacement due to a childhood illness that had damaged her heart. And he tried to do CPR and knew she was gone. And the mental picture you get of that, of your husband at that young age trying to revive a parent, is really heartbreaking. And then in thinking about it, my dad had a pacemaker put in November. My mom has had AFib and has had a successful ablation. My cousin had a heart attack at 38. I think we're all impacted more than we know, but we don't think about it until somebody confronts you with the issue.
Right. And that's why it is important to have these events, to have these conversations, and that's what you'll have an opportunity to do. Now, we are doing it a little different this year. It's going to be an evening affair as opposed to an earlier luncheon, but really we just want people to come out, share their story and their experiences.
Well, absolutely. I'm excited to attend. Tomorrow night will be or Thursday night, sorry, will be my first time attending the event. And it's been a fun time. I've been involved with the Women of Impact campaign, so I've gotten much more involved this year and knowledgeable about the subject of heart health in women. I think having an evening event lends it more credibility and formality. I think it makes it feel more important. So I'm really excited to attend and get together with the other Women of Impact who are being honored at the event, and to talk more about the importance of women's health. In my work, I do a lot of advocacy for women, and I think that it fits right into the things I love to talk about anyway.
Yeah, and your work outside of your work with the Heart Association is to help people know more about their own individual factors.
Absolutely. I mean, so many things are genetic, so knowing your family health history is really important. I also do some work with the All of Us research program, who's very committed to equalizing disparities in healthcare. And women, are in a unique category of not always getting the care that they need. One of the statistics I read in preparation for coming here was that women are less likely to have CPR performed on them than men, which I find remarkable.
And there are a number of reasons as to why that is. But again, it goes back to your point.
Well, it's knowing, and the wider population knowing. When I told my husband that, cardiac events are the #1 killer of women, he said, no, they're not. And so in my story online I've written, clearly we need to do more education, because my husband is not somebody who lives in the dark about women's issues, yet he didn't have any idea that this was such an impactful thing for women. So I think the more we can educate ourselves, so many of these conditions are preventable. I've had a health journey this year of my own. I was diagnosed with insulin resistance that had caused me to gain weight, so I've lost 66 pounds since last April. My cholesterol's down, my cardiovascular, is better. I was a dancer my whole life, so I masked it by starvation.
Well, that's good that your numbers are closer to where they need to be. I want to make sure that people know that this event is Thursday. It is the 16th from 5 to 7 at the McQueen Alumni Center. Tickets are still available.
Yes, tickets are still available. You can look them up online at the Go Red for Women.org campaign and get your tickets and show up. It's going to be a really fun event, and it's important to spread the word.
Absolutely. I thank you so much for sharing your story, and I wish we had more time. I just wanted to make sure that we definitely told you where the event is and how you can attend. And if you go, you will see Miss Elizabeth there.
I will be there. So if you do come say hi.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And